Welcome to episode 11 of Potato Tomato. My name is Trenton Ingle, and today we're going to be talking about how we feel the school has done in circumventing the risks of the coronavirus.
I think the school has done okay. I mean, they've done a good job cleaning desks in between each class and getting students to wear their mask. But there are some students that refuse to wear their mask. And I know people that don't like the mask, but they still wear it because they know if they don't, they're going to get in trouble. And other people think they're too cool for it and just be stupid.
Honestly, I feel like if you've been wearing your mask every time you go out now, you just don't even really notice it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was driving
It's
home
just-
from a volleyball game today, and I accidentally had my mask on in the car. And, I
Yes.
wasn't trying to be that person. I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
It's just become routine.
Right. A lot of the rules that the school has implemented feel like they're, half completed or only half thought out because, we clean our desks every period, and they're being really careful about that. But then we get out into the hallways, and it's just madness. Just keep your mask on and hope you can make it to the next class.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly
They
like
should let
last
out
year.
certain classes out at different points so you can get your stuff out of the hallway without it being a huge
Right.
mess.
Or even just put a line in between the hallway and just make it like a road. At least that
Yes.
way it would have a nice flow
Yes.
and you wouldn't be breathing on people's faces.
Cough, cough, middle schoolers walking down the freaking
Oh my gosh.
center of the.
If
Just
you
a
walk
big-
down the hallway, any of you out there listening, if you walk down the hallway 6 wide, I will find you.
And you walk
And-
on the right side of the hallway, not
Yes.
the left.
Yeah.
We
Thinking
aren't in
That's
Australia.
Sure.
just common courtesy.
We are in the United States.
Yeah.
You walk like you
Any-
drive.
Any new middle schoolers, if you are listening, you walk on the right side. Do not walk on the left, or you will be pushed out of the way.
And if there's a lot of people, keep it to 3 wide at a minimum.
Yes.
Yep.
No.
If there's no one walking
none of
down the
these-
hallway, I don't care.
Yeah, none of these 8 wide groups.
Abominations.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, it is better now that we're we're going in the gym and we're only allowed in the school at 8 o'clock. Because before there would just be entire classes out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you had to go into the gym last year.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I felt it was kind of stupid then, but now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense now, but. Mhm.
one weird thing I noticed was on the first day of school, we got into the gym and everyone just kind of sat down. And then the adults started yelling at them, saying that you could only sit with one person, that you had to socially distance from everyone else. But no one was really told that.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
There are a lot of things that they
communication should be key, especially in a situation like this.
Right.
They
Yeah.
can't just yell for something that we had no way of knowing about before.
Mhm.
And there are some things where the students just aren't paying attention, and it's their fault. But there are also some things where it's just, we're not really sure what's going on. Like when one person who shall remain nameless got COVID, and they were forcing other people to go home for 2 weeks. We didn't know the method in which they were kicking people out.
Well,
We
yeah,
have-
we do. It was.
Well-
it just. It was. I don't remember where it
It's
was,
based on
but
where
they
they
did.
sat.
Yeah.
Well, right. But I didn't know if masks or dividers saved you. I talked to the principal, and he said the only thing that can save you is being 6 feet apart from them. And then secondary contact, if they both have masks on, then the masks help you. But it's we didn't know that. There were just people being taken away around them, and we didn't know if it was a 6-foot thing, if they didn't have masks on, if there weren't dividers. We didn't know what the common factor was.
Mhm.
But I actively sought out the principal and asked him, and the CDC said that the masks and dividers only help if you're with a person for less than 15 minutes. Now, if a person who comes in direct contact with a contaminated COVID-19 person, if that person who came in contact with them has contact with someone else, as long as they have masks on, they're good. So the mask just kind of helps that secondary thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely does. I think you worded that in a way that a lot of people can understand that.
I can't tell if that was sarcastic or not.
No,
but-
that was not sarcasm. That was not sarcasm.
All right.
I did not mean for it to sound sarcastic.
No, but that wasn't common knowledge. I had to go out and look for that answer. And it's like, if I could be forced to go home, I would like to know how to prevent that. So, Gabe, what stories you got?
Me? I've just been listening this entire time. And I have nothing really to say. I don't like it. I don't hate it. Whatever.
One thing that we have been doing that's interesting is, like, for band, we have to practice outside, like, away from, because of the aerosols of the instruments.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes it's awful because it's super hot out. Today, it was awful because it was super cold out, and it wasn't that cold today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, another thing that was nice was that some teachers rearranged their desks. Like Mrs. Dover came in clutch. I'm in her study hall, and like the countertop with computers around the edges. She like set up little stations 6 feet apart, and she said if you're in a sport and you don't want to have to go home, then you can sit here. So then you don't have to go home if someone were to get in the classroom.
Yep.
And like
That's,
some of us went asking around, asking if we could like move 6 feet away, and then it kind of felt like a lost cause. But then the next day, like 3 teachers rearranged the desks and allowed students to do that, so that was good.
At least they're willing to change.
Right.
That's a positive in this situation,
And then
definitely.
some teachers were like, well, just move your desk like a foot that way. And it's like, no, it doesn't matter if I move it a foot away, you're not going to write that down, so I'm still going to get taken away. Like, honestly, I personally am more concerned about having to miss 2 weeks of cross country.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like district week.
Oh yeah.
But most of the teachers got it.
Yep.
And they were very good about that.
And I
More
feel like in classes that you have with other people, you should be seated with the same people as much as possible.
Right.
I
don't know if it was sheer coincidence, but I was with Brady almost every morning class, and then I'm with Gabe and Ethan in English, and I'm with them in lunch.
And one teacher I think that did handle this well was like how when we had changed our seats to in Bernal, how she said that she recommends us to sit with who we sit at lunch. At lunch.
She was
so
another
we're
good
still
one.
around the same people to make it so it would be easier to track.
Right. The only problem that comes with that is you're going to be sitting with your friends. But
Yeah.
At that point, it's just priorities.
Yeah.
Yep. The more we do now to prevent spreading, the shorter we'll have to do this for.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly,
if
I feel like
everybody participates and does what they're supposed to.
Yes.
There will be some rebels, but I feel like as long as we get the majority of the school under control, I think we'll be fine.
I think so too. Honestly, I think the teachers have been really good with this. Some of like the administrative like rules and stuff that the teachers and the students didn't really know about has been a little shady, but I think that the teachers have handled it all really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they haven't like been attached to this one idea. They've been willing to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I feel like that
I
should
was
be part of
also-
their job, being able to like change with certain situations that are going on.
Being able to
Right.
adapt.
Yeah.
I was also glad that, and we were saying this in our first episode, we were saying that teachers should get meetings set up for the teachers to learn how to use Google Classroom, and they did do that.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's a
and
lot
we're
of
now
things.
using Google Meet, which is a lot safer and a lot more of a trusted website than
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It seems like they've
Zoom. Yeah, I didn't remember what it was called. It's been so long since I've used it. I deleted that right off my phone and computer the day after we were done with school.
I mean, I do wish that instead of having the Nova courses for remote learning, I wish that everything would just be on Google Classroom so that everyone's on the same page, whether they're doing remote learning or not. So that if you want to like stay home for like the winter quarter and then come back in, you won't be lost.
Yeah.
Because that's currently you have to register quarterly for remote learning, but remote learning is done through the Nova course. So if you were to like go home for winter and then come back, you'd have to go through 2 different systems, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah, I
That
think
sounds
that's how that
correct.
works.
And one thing that I think that they should change is because one thing that they outright said was with all the stuff that's going on, and but if you're sick, not having COVID, you can't use the people who are had to go home and are doing the virtual thing,
Right.
where they have the video call. You can't do that, which I think that should be changed. I think that should be an option that it should always be available for students.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because now I feel like the more and more advanced you get in school, the more and more it's awful when you miss a day because you were constantly building upon what you learned the day before.
Oh yeah. And the thing is the teachers, if a student goes home, they have to upload on everything onto Google Classroom anyways. So it's they should be prepared for that every day anyways, because anyone could get taken out.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
seems like it would make more sense to go everything almost like we did last year, just more planned out, just run it through Google Classroom.
Yep.
But I mean, that's not a horrible issue.
Yeah, it's fixable and negotiable.
Yeah, it's not like a deal breaker though.
Yeah.
Honestly though, if you want to go back and watch our first episode, a lot of the stuff we said they're doing.
Yeah, and even other things that our school hasn't been doing, other schools have been having some grades go one day and then the next day they have the other ones.
Yeah. I think they're doing
It's
that
like-
for
Perrysburg,
Elementary.
I think. It's well, no, for Perrysburg, Monday and Tuesday they have one group. Wednesday they disinfect the entire building, and Thursday and Friday they have the second group.
Wow.
Which I think that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
And then
feel like
the
it-
other people are doing the virtual, so you're on a video call for all the classes on the days that you weren't there. And I
Okay.
think they just don't have school Wednesday. Either that or they're all digital Wednesday. I'm not sure. But that's also another thing that we said. And it's super similar to what we said.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I had an interesting thought today. It was actually Booty said that he hopes that the flu season won't be as bad this year with all the masks and sanitizing things.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with I think it was my mom and grandparents the other day. Wednesday
Yeah.
night, we were talking about that, and we said, with everyone being everything how it is, hopefully, if people still follow the social distancing rules, we won't have a bad flu season at all because we'll, be trying to prevent COVID, so it'll prevent
Right.
the flu also.
The only
'Cause-
downside I think to that is maybe once we stop wearing masks, our immune systems won't be as good, and so
Yeah.
there might be a few years of a little bit harder flu season to kind of regulate out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a few years, but I could definitely see winter
Like-
months hurting.
Yeah. But last year, didn't we have a super bad flu season, or was that 2 years ago?
I think
I
it was
think-
both of them.
Yeah, I'm
honestly.
pretty sure that was last
Yeah.
year.
I
Didn't
think
one
it
of
was
the
last
school-
year.
I thought one of the nearby schools got shut
Yeah.
down because of
Well,
flu.
The thing was it was the flu, or we did have a bad flu season, but if you remember all the guys on our basketball team, they were getting tested and we couldn't figure out what it was. It was probably COVID, honestly.
Mm,
Well, I don't think it was that then.
yeah, not. It was still pretty early.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
mean,
would say a couple months even before
it was
it reached
January.
America.
Because there was a different thing going around at that point.
But these kids were getting tested for influenza and they weren't getting anything back.
There was some, it wasn't respiratory. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't the same. They've tested it.
Hmm.
I read about it somewhere. I'll see if I can find the article, and if I can, I'll put it in the description of the video.
Yep.
But no, I'm not sure if I will be able to find it, because it's been a while.
Well, we haven't gotten a lot of textbooks this year.
Yeah, it's all been online. They've all changed their entire way of teaching.
And we've gotten, well, not complete way.
Right.
The only thing that's changed for history has been we get packets instead of the book.
Right.
Yep.
The online textbooks are so hard to navigate, though.
Yeah.
I prefer the paper textbooks.
I understand
I don't
why
really get
though,
it.
little-
'Cause you get
Yeah.
the textbooks at the beginning of the year, and you turn them in at the end. It's not like there's a bunch of person-to-person contact, but
I
whatever.
feel like it's just
Yeah.
the fear that they'll
Maybe I'm
share
just a
their
little
textbooks with
old-fashioned.
someone.
Yeah, I
Possibly.
kind of like the books better.
Yeah, I think that's a general consensus.
especially with like my CCP class. That one, it isn't just like a PDF with all the pages. It's like an actual website, and you have to like navigate through all the courses and stuff. It's so annoying. I just go to the video lessons and watch them.
It honestly just be worth it to just print it out, three hole punch, and just put it all in a binder.
Yeah, but use the school's printers.
Yeah. I've debated doing that with my NOLA class, with my programming one.
Oh, did you guys hear about the free lunches?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, I took advantage of that today.
I also did.
I think we all did. As long
Did
as you, as long
Did
as you
that
don't
come
sub.
into? Did that is the first day that is available? Was that today or was
Yep.
that yesterday?
I
That was
believe
today.
it was today,
Today.
which is September 10th.
Was there an announcement in the announcements this morning? 'Cause I didn't
think
remember
the
hearing
school
anything.
sent out a thing.
I think that
didn't
was
get
what
it.
was in that
It
letter,
wasn't on the
possibly.
announcement.
But yeah, that kind of, I mean, it makes the catch-up thing a little bit better, I guess.
But you still
Yeah.
have to pay for the catch up.
Yes, that hasn't been resolved yet. Just
You just
update.
need to buy $2.35 in ketchup or
Hold on,
however
hold
much
on.
lunch is.
This is a totally different video. You're starting on another tangent.
Sorry, yeah, we have to get away from that.
Yeah.
I can't start ranting again. I can feel it coming up too.
It makes
But-
me wonder if like
All I've
the
heard is
extras, not the extras, the subs count as the main lunch.
Well,
so if you
my-
need to pay
They
for
do.
that.
My mother said
So-
that if you sub,
okay.
you have to pay for it.
Okay, I don't like
Oh,
that. That's weird.
No.
I thought it was.
I also don't like
that-
it.
I'm pretty sure you don't have to pay if you get the sub.
I'll ask tomorrow.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I was
sure.
gonna
That was
say,
just
we
what
could
my
always
mom told
test
me.
it out.
Because it wouldn't really make
But-
sense if they did make you pay for the sub, because
Well, it's
Yeah.
not considered the actual lunch that's being served, so it's. I
Yeah.
think it's considered an extra, maybe.
And
maybe.
possibly.
But then
Was
you don't
this
get
like?
you don't get the
I would
regular
say,
lunch. if
are you
get a sub.
saying you have to pay for the entire lunch if you get a sub, or just
Yeah,
pay
that's
for
what
the
I'm
sub?
No,
wondering.
you just have to pay the price of the sub,
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah.
understandable.
as
That-
if you
that's
were
a
to
lot
like just
easier.
go up and buy one after lunch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But was this a state of Ohio thing or was it a national thing?
I think it was available to a lot of schools in Ohio. I think. Well, it might have been national, but it was recommended for some schools.
All I
We're
know
only
is that
going up to
it
Christmas
should
break,
end
though, right?
sometime around Christmas. Yeah.
And if I feel like if it's still going on like how it is now, I feel like they might extend it if they still have the money to.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. They're spending so much money right now.
Yeah.
Ideally, they won't run out of money, because that would actually be very bad.
Here's a little bit of a idea. Instead of paying for lunches, let's just try to reopen up slowly.
Explain.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, if the parents are
elaborate
working,
on
they
that.
don't have to struggle for money.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have lots of families out of jobs.
Yeah, there
What
are
do you
a
mean?
lot
No,
of
more families would be in jobs.
I thought you were saying that we should like keep families out of jobs and put more money into the school system.
Oh no, we should put more people in jobs so that they can actually pay for their kids' lunch.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
the free lunches are super convenient for people. Like
They are.
Like,
And also reduced
I feel
lunches is even
a lot
better.
of people here don't have to worry. Well, some I feel like some do, but like the majority of people probably don't have to worry about that. And I feel like it is nice on certain families, especially now, because it is putting a more of a strain on their revenue than before. So
Yeah.
even though it's not completely destroying it, it was still making an impact. So I feel like that is good for any family, because it adds up, especially if you have 2 to 4 kids in your family. You're getting school lunch with like almost $3 each day. That adds up.
It
Yeah.
does.
I mean, I feel like we definitely have a population that struggles with that. We're just not as bad as like urban schools.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, outro time. So, I guess in conclusion, we like a lot of the things that the school has done, but we still think that there are some things that could be improved, maybe.
We seem to think that a lot on this channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
But
always room for improvement.
I guess if you like the video, you can hit like, maybe subscribe. I guess thanks for watching Potato Tomato.